1 year ago, Asheville woke up to a very different world. Streets that we loved were underwater. Bridges that we crossed every single day were gone, and neighborhoods felt unrecognizable. Hurricane Helene wasn't just a storm, it was a moment that tested who we are as a community. But here's the thing about Asheville. We don't just survive storms, we pull together. And in this outpouring of love and support and resilience, something beautiful has unfolded this past year. So today I want to take you on a journey. Where are we now, 1 year later? How has Helene reshaped our city and our housing market and the way people think about living in Asheville? And most importantly, what can we expect from Asheville moving forward? If you've ever wondered whether Asheville's spirit could bend but not break, this story is for you. Let's go back for a moment, because when Helene hit, the Asheville Regional Airport recorded 14 inches of rain in 3 days. But in Yancey County, just north, some areas got 30 inches all at once. And the French Broad River right here behind me rose up and totally engulfed this whole bridge here. This whole thing was underwater. So it rose up over the banks, took out neighborhoods. It cut off more access than you could ever imagine. 400 different roads in western North Carolina were totally shut down. If you tried to get in and out of town, you just couldn't. I-26 had closures, I-40 had closures and landslides, and the Blue Ridge Parkway. It suffered thousands of downed trees, there were landslides, and massive washouts. More than 2,300 homes were destroyed and businesses, and they were left totally damaged and uninhabitable. Utilities went dark. There was no power, no cell phone service for at least 18 days in some areas. There was no water. There was no way to get rid of sewage. It was so intense and insane. For me personally, we went 45 days with nothing. 108 people in western North Carolina lost their lives. There's memorials up everywhere now showing the names and the photos of these people. And that's the reality that we're living in that happened just 12 months ago. So we just walked upon this. This is built by Emily Clayton, an artist. So we can share a wish or worry, and we can give it to the fence. We can give it to the universe, which I think is really sweet. I'm gonna pick a really colorful one. And then we can tie a ribbon and let it go. What would yours be? What would your wish be, or your worry? You can comment down below and let me know. What would you let go right now? My wish is for trust. And I'm letting go control. Is that a good one? I think that's a good one. That's a good one for me, at least. I'm letting it go. I'm trusting and letting go control. And here's where Asheville really shows its heart. The morning after Helene, neighbors were checking on neighbors. Volunteers were handing out meals, clearing debris, and raising money. Restaurants that had no power were sharing food. Nonprofits mobilized instantly. They came out of the woodwork. Local landmarks stepped in, like the Grove Park Inn. Even turned its annual gingerbread house into a fundraiser for hurricane relief. Local musicians had benefit shows everywhere. There was live music every single day. If you look back at that video that I made right after the hurricane, there was live free music every day in Asheville. You don't find that everywhere. Churches all opened up their doors to become supply hubs. Road and bridge recovery just started immediately, and it's still going on. So repairs all over western North Carolina are expected to top $5 billion. Crews are still out there fixing things, especially like on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Whole sections are being re-engineered. Here's the bigger picture. Our community never stopped showing up. It was absolutely beautiful. Even the businesses that were hit really, really hard and had to scale back a ton and have less staff, they are still determined to keep Asheville's culture alive. Grants were pumped into the area. Small business assistance was everywhere. And that says a lot about who we are. I get asked all the time by people who are thinking about moving here, so what is happening in the market in Asheville now, especially after Helene? Well, when we look at home prices in Buncombe County right now, what we're seeing is in Asheville today, the median home price is around $490,000. That's down about 2%. Prices are hovering closer to $479 in other areas of Buncombe County, which is pretty much flat. So homes are taking a little bit longer to sell, on average 73 days instead of last year, which was about 50 days. And sellers are seeing they are getting about 95 to 96% of the list price that they are asking after closing. So that's a slight shift more towards a buyer's market right now, which is great leverage for you if you're thinking about moving to Asheville, because you have more opportunity right now than actually I've ever seen. This is one of the best times to buy in Asheville in a long time, so you might consider taking advantage of that. Average home price has stayed fairly flat compared to last year, around $649 since last August. That's actually about 9% lower than what we saw at $717 last year. But here's the thing, the average prices can be skewed by the high-end sales. And Buncombe County has a strong luxury market that can consistently increase that average price over the median. So here's the takeaway. Buncombe County's high-end market is still driving those prices up because people still prefer properties with views and newer builds and in close, tight-knit neighborhoods, which means the luxury market remains significantly higher than the rest. So while the headlines might read prices down 9%, the reality is that Asheville's market is still resilient, with just a little bit more breathing room for buyers than we saw a year ago. What Helene really did, though, is change what buyers are thinking about when they're thinking about purchasing a home. We're talking about flood zones and drainage and different types of insurance. These are front of mind questions now, and that's exactly where we can help you as well. So people want to know, is this house resilient? And builders are building differently. They're responding with different types of foundations and stronger drainage systems too, and a more flood conscious design. Hopefully we don't need it, but we want to be smart and conscientious anyway. Yeah, so some homes were lost, and some of those sellers are choosing not to rebuild. Some of those spaces are going to become green spaces in Asheville, but inventory is still tight. And the demand for Asheville has not really gone anywhere, especially considering the lifestyle here. So if anything, that storm highlighted just how determined people are to live here. So what's it like living in Asheville 1 year later? Well, our farmers markets are buzzing again. Breweries are pouring, musicians are back on stage. And if you walk through the River Arts District, you will find that the energy is back and it's alive, and we are going for it. I mean, we just had the opening of the Marquee on Friday night here in the River Arts District, and it was so busy you could barely get in. People are so supportive. The community is coming out in droves, and it's so beautiful to see that. So places like the River Arts District are coming back to life. Not all of the galleries are back open, but the Marquee is one that definitely is. And it hasn't been easy for some restaurants. They've had to really shrink their staff and their menus or rethink their concepts because a lot of service workers lost housing during the time and they had to leave town. And even there's some trails on the Blue Ridge Parkway that are not completely fully open yet. They are still closed for repairs. And don't forget the tree canopy that we lost during that storm. While it was heartbreaking at first, it's also revealed these beautiful new vistas and long-range mountain views that we didn't have before. Local leaders and neighbors are replanting and planning for resistance, but in the meantime, Asheville feels a little bit more open with fresh perspectives in this mountain town that we call home. People are showing up for each other, businesses are reopening, festivals are back, and we've learned some dang hard lessons along the way about being prepared in the spirit of Asheville and what we're really made of. But guess what? We have not been washed away. We are still here. We are still vibrant. We are still alive, and we are kicking stronger than ever. So one of the moments that still gives me chills happened right after Helene. We had all been in our homes shut up for a long time. And 1 year ago, Rising Appalachia, the local band, put on this beautiful pop-up concert. And it wasn't announced. I mean, really, we knew about it like maybe one day ahead. It wasn't polished. It was raw. It was real. It was exactly what Asheville needed. For so many people, it was the first time we'd seen each other in so long. And we had been just really in our houses. Folks came together after this isolation of mud and cleanup and worry to this beautiful concert. And we all gathered under the sky, sharing stories and hugs, and it was absolutely beautiful, and it was totally free too. There was no tickets, all the food was free, nobody asked for anything. It was just neighbors helping neighbors and artists giving their gifts, and a city remembering what community feels like. It was awesome. That day, Asheville was not broken. That day, we were a little bit bruised, yes, but we had each other, and there was laughter, and there was song and music, and there was love everywhere you looked.
To celebrate with everyone here, to be gathered here together in the sunlight, and have a few minutes just to recognize we've been through a lot. We've got a site, wncstrongtogether.org, where we've got a lot of updates where you can plug in and continue to support.
Appalachia is back at Pisgah Brewing, reminding us how far that we've actually come. Last year, it was survival and solidarity. This year, it's celebration and resilience. And that arc from loss to love to renewal really captures the heart of Asheville. And right alongside the music, there are nonprofits like Beloved, who have been there since the beginning. They have been putting in the work every single day. And they've been on the ground since Helene, helping families with shelter, distributing food, and making sure our most vulnerable populations and neighbors were not forgotten. Their impact, it cannot be overstated. They have been the hands and the feet of this community when we needed it most. That's Asheville. Check it out.
Well, hello. Look at you. I'm Blueberry Bear, and we're Rising Appalachia! Yay!
When disaster hits, we show up with guitars and banjos and soup pots and gloves, and we rebuild together. Does that sound like something that you'd want to be a part of? It's moments like this weekend and this past entire year, really, that remind me why so many people want to live in Asheville. And if you're someone who has been wondering whether the community vibe is still alive, I promise it is. And that's what we help people discover every single day. So we have an artist here who has really probably seen the ups and downs in the last year since the hurricane. What has your experience been like?
It's been a little rough. Where I am, we've been one of the lucky few who didn't get flooded. Just driving through the district now, it's just basically devastated. We're so happy this place is open, the Marquee. So
there's parts of the River Arts District that are open and parts that are not, right?
Yeah, small parts. We were in like the small part over by the Wes Brewery. We were lucky we didn't get flooded out. We were up a hill a little bit.
Did you lose a lot of business and momentum during this time?
It's been a slow year, definitely.
Yeah.
It's been a slower year.
And what's it like now?
I think now it's starting to, I'm hopeful for next year to get better. It keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people from out of town probably didn't want to come here because of the devastation of the...
But on Friday night, there was a big opening here, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people came.
Yeah.
Almost so many people that it was hard to get in.
I saw that on social media. It was really good to see. Everyone it was just like a celebration. I think this is one of the biggest places that's reopened since the hurricane. So
And we're coming back, aren't we?
we're coming back.
Yeah. We've got Gabriel here, who's another artist. And I just kind of want to gauge like what the last year has been like for you, especially being an artist in the Riverside District area, and what it feels like now.
That's a great question. The impact on the River Arts District has been really remarkable in a couple of senses. It destroyed a lot of things, and then it also, I think, strengthened the community. And when we reopened Marquee on Thursday night, I'm guessing 5,000 people came out.
It seemed like so many. I saw.
Happy to report that we had some sales over the weekend and everything. Overall, I'm going to say that retail is down in the River Arts District by at least 60%, and that's a year later. People are definitely making moves, but we appreciate everybody who came out and everybody who helped spend money, because I've been in the Rivers Arts District for 25 years, right? I owe my career to the neighborhood, and I'm seeing how challenging it is for so many folks. But to see Marquee reopen, to see them working on Summit, to see them working on 12 Bones, and the celebration on Thursday night were all so heartening. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That makes sense. We've got a great community, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Love living here. You know what I mean? Yeah, every 2 years we're like, hey, should we stay here? And every 2 years we're like, we love Asheville. It's the best.
It's hard to replicate.
Yeah, totally. There's only one.
There's only one.
That's right.
So where do we go from here? Our focus is now on resilience. We are updating flood maps. We are strengthening building codes and reinforcing hillsides to protect against erosion. And yes, that means we're building smarter when it comes to where homes go. And for the housing market, that means new construction is leaning towards safer locations. And we, the Living in Asheville team, are becoming even more educated than ever when considering safety. For the community, guess what it means? More connection, more preparation, and more awareness of what changing weather really means for us, in the mountains. We never really had to think about it before. You know what gives me hope? People are still moving here. People are still investing here. And for those of us who live in Asheville, we feel more connected than ever. Helene was devastating, but it didn't define us. Our response did. So if you've been with me since the beginning, thank you for being a part of this journey. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. It's all about helping people understand Asheville, not just the real estate part of it, but the lifestyle and the challenges and the beauty and the community of living here. And if you're thinking about moving to Western North Carolina, then reach out any of the ways down below, because that's what my team and I do. We love to help people relocate to the area so that you can thrive here. And if you want to dive deeper and check out everything you really need to know, check out this video here, what it's really like living in Asheville, North Carolina. Until then, ciao for now.